If you're watching this video, then you want to know exactly how expensive is it to live in Austin, Texas in 2022. Maybe you're tuning in because you're thinking about cashing out, or maybe you're thinking about moving here. Either way, we're going to go over all the facts, all the figures, and give you all the data you need to make an informed decision. It's me, Edie Embry, your favorite local Austin realtor and resource for all things Austin. And you are watching my YouTube channel, Edie Knows Austin. Go ahead and hit the subscribe button so that you can stay up to date on what I like to call Austinomics, the unique intersection of Austin culture and the Austin economy. And remember, I'm never too busy to answer your questions about Austin or the real estate market. Call, text, email. It's my passion to help people discover Austin and build wealth through real estate. Today, we're going to talk about the subject of affordability, which obviously has been changing in the last few years here in Austin, Texas. But the question is Austin still an affordable place to live? And what are our alternatives if not? Today, we're going to look at the cost of living index. We're going to look at baked-in costs unique to Austin that you need to take into account. We're going to look at added value, things that you get for free because you live in Austin. And we're going to talk about the Austin lifestyle and what it costs to go out on the town in Austin. And finally, stay tuned to the end because I'm going to give you my top 5 favorite things to do for free in Austin. Yep, there's still free stuff to do. So here we go. Let's get started. So first of all, let's take a look at what we call the cost of living index. Now, what exactly does that mean? Well, an index is just simply a way to compare what it costs to live in one area compared to another area. How affordable is it? And in this particular tool that I used, I found it on bestplaces.net. So it's kind of cool. You can just plug in the city you live in, the city you want to move to, and your income, and it'll tell you exactly how much more money or less money you need to make to live in that city at the same level that you're accustomed to in your current city. So that's pretty cool. The cost of living index measures food and groceries, utilities, transportation, healthcare, and housing. Obviously, housing is a biggie. Housing is the biggie. What we're going to talk about right now is because all the others are essentially pretty affordable. It's just the housing is the thing that's getting us here in Austin. At a national level, a 100 on this index means that's the average cost of living in the United States in a city. If the rating is above 100, then it's more expensive. If the rating is below 100, then it's less expensive. So where Austin ranked in this index was 129. So in other words, Austin is 29% more expensive to live than the average city in the United States. Of course, you know, we also have a higher income level here than the average city. And we do get some other value add benefits that we're going to talk about in a little bit here. So first thing we're going to talk about is housing, which is my area of expertise. So I'm going to share with you a little bit about that. Right now, the median home price in Austin is $551. That's the big driver for what's making Austin more expensive. Just to give you an idea of some similar cities with similar demographics, San Jose market, which is incidentally the most expensive real estate market in the country, is where a lot of people are migrating to Austin from, and their cost of living is ranked at a 215. So you can see that comparatively, if you're living on one of the coasts, it might seem like a great bargain to move to Austin. In San Jose, the median home price is 1.25, whereas in Austin, it's 551. So there's a big difference there. There's also Seattle, which is another place very similar, young demographic with tech jobs. Their median home price, $851. Their ranking on the index is 167. So Austin's going to also be cheaper than Seattle. Now, along these same lines, if you feel like Austin is more expensive than you want to be in, there are choices. We call them almost Austin, which are the bedroom communities and the surrounding cities. Austin Metroplex is actually 5 counties, and if you take the entire Metroplex into account, it gives you quite a bit more affordability. If you take a look at BUDA, for example, the median home price in BUDA is $385, and the index for cost of living there is only $114, so considerably more affordable than Austin. Same in Round Rock, median price $391, index level 116. And if you want to go out east, you get even more affordability. BASTROP is cost of living index is 105, and the median home price is sitting right at 292. And East Austin has really exploded in this last 2 years, ever since the announcement of Tesla building their big gigafactory out there, which has driven growth like crazy. But as you can see, it's still a very affordable option if you want to live close to Austin, and maybe you already work in East Austin. So there are choices around the surrounding areas of Austin that are going to get you a little bit more affordability. Another thing to think about that some people do or don't take into account is, unfortunately, we have one of the highest property tax rates in the entire country, and that does impact our housing expense. So when you're paying your mortgage, you get to pay principal, interest, taxes, and insurance. And taxes are a big factor because the average tax rate in Austin is 2.22%. So that means that if you, let's just say an even million, if you own a property and you may have bought it 20 years ago for $200,000 and now it's rated as being worth $1 million, guess what? You get to pay $22,000 worth of taxes every year on that property. So that's something that's been a thorn in the side of all of the Austin residents that are getting, even though they have their home, living here it's made it more expensive and less affordable for people on a fixed income. So that's unfortunate. You do need to think about that if you're buying a house, that the taxes are going to have a big impact. The other thing is taxes. We have a sales tax here, of course. Our sales tax is 8.25%. So anytime you buy consumables, add another 8% to your bill. So for every dollar, you're going to pay another 8 cents. And then the other big expense that's kind of baked in here that really gets people's goats is toll roads. For years and years and years, Austin said, no thank you, we don't want any new roads. We had this flawed concept that if we didn't build roads, nobody would move here. And then lo and behold, we got into a horrible, horrible mess with traffic. And for whatever reason, the solution seems to have been, rather than putting in public roads, they've put in a lot of toll roads. So if you're planning on working in Austin and living in one of the suburbs, you need to be prepared to get your toll tag ready. So there's that. So that's the bad news. But the good news is, if you live in Austin, you do get a lot of value add, because we have a lovely, lovely public environment here. Two of the biggest draws, I would say, to Austin, other than the jobs, are the park system and the live music. We have an amazing public park system here in Austin. We actually have 320 public parks and 17,466 acres of public parkland. So that's something that you can enjoy for free, and they have a goal here in Austin of making every neighborhood walkable to a public park. So it's a nice value add that no matter where you live, you get to enjoy some of the beautiful greenery that is Austin. And then of course, we are the live music capital of the world, and so the benefit there is there's so many musicians living in Austin that we are just surrounded by live music. And everywhere you go, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, you go to a coffee shop to have a cup of coffee, there's musicians playing. So you do get constant exposure to live music, which is fantastic. And so we appreciate that, and stay tuned, because I'm going to tell you a few tips on how to hear some live music for free. So now that we've discussed some of the essential costs of living, we can take a quick look at some of the fun stuff, like the cost of entertainment and what you can expect when you go out, there's a lot of good options here in Austin. We have a very robust brewery scene. There's many local craft beers made here in Austin. Going to one of those kind of places, you could expect to pay on average like $6-7 a pint. And it probably would include a live band as well that would be performing outside. So not a very expensive outing. Most of these places have food as well. There's one near my house called ABGB, Pint House Pizza, St. Elmo Brewery, Central Machine Works. There's tons of them. So we do have a lot of options when it comes to casual dining, casual going out. And we also have a ton of coffee houses, also often providing live music. And you can expect to pay about $4 for a cappuccino, which I think is pretty reasonable. You can sit there and drink your cappuccino for quite a long time and have a nice, very affordable chat with a friend. If you're actually going out to dinner, family-friendly place that we like a lot, Kirby Lane is a local favorite place. You could expect to pay about $15 a plate. And with tax and tip and everything, you're gonna get out of there probably for 2 people for $40. For a family, it's gonna be under $100. If you're going for upscale dining, there's an amazing restaurant scene. We have some of the top-rated restaurants in the country here in Austin. And you're gonna look at, you can still get out of there for under $100, depending on where you go and how much wine you drink. But so it's not crazy expensive to go out to eat in Austin, and there's a lot of really good choices. Of course, we have our breakfast tacos and our barbecue that we love, and those things are very affordable, as well as all of our food trucks, which are, you probably get a food truck meal for about $10. So not too painful there. And then if you like to go to the movies, we enjoy Alamo Drafthouse here. It's a movie and dinner place, but you don't have to eat, but you can. And they have the nice reclining seats. It's very comfortable in there. And their movie tickets are running $14 a ticket. So that's just a few of the common things people like to do that you can expect what to pay there. So I don't think that's very much different than you'll find anywhere else in the country, but you can compare it to your local city and see what you think. And so finally, in conclusion, I am going to share with you my top 5 favorite free things to do in Austin. So now the time has come for me to reveal the list of my favorite 5 things to do for free in Austin, Texas. And the first thing that I want to share with you, thing number 5, is walking or jogging on Lady Bird Lake. And I do this weekly. It's something I've done since the day I moved to Austin, take advantage of the river that runs through Austin, Texas. Lady Bird Lake, which is adjacent to downtown. It's circled by wonderful hike and bike trails, and you can do 3-mile loops all the way up to 20-mile loops. There's always great energy out there. There's a lot of people watching, there's nature watching, and if you go down by Auditorium Shores, you can even say hello to the statue of Stevie Ray Vaughan. So that is one of my favorite things to do, and that is thing number 5. Thing number 4 is take a swim in the Greenbelt when it has water. So we are also fortunate to have, as I said, one of the best park systems in the country, and the Barton Creek Greenbelt is rated something like the 8th best park in the whole country. So I love to go down there when there's water in the creek. We can take a swim, we can take a raft, and I even have a video about that if you want to hear more about it. So thing number 3 that you can do for free in Austin, Texas is enjoy the Blanton Art Museum, which is, it has rotating exhibits not too far from downtown Austin. On Thursdays, they offer free admission, so it's always fun to take advantage of that. The number 2 favorite thing that I like to do in Austin, Texas for free, and this is coming up right around the corner, is attend a free concert at Auditorium Shores during the South by Southwest Music Festival. And this is an opportunity actually to see some pretty big name bands. They have free shows the Thursday, Friday, and Saturday of the South by Southwest Music Festival, and that is, this year it's gonna be starting March 17th. They are doing it. Some of the past artists, to give you an idea of how the scope of the talent, is anyone from Garth Brooks, Childish Gambino, Public Enemy. So they haven't announced who's gonna be there, but it's usually someone really good. And my number one favorite thing to take advantage of for free in Austin, Texas is attend a performance at the Hillside Theater, a musical performance at the Hillside Theater. In the summer, between July and August, they put on live performances at the Hillside Theater in Zilker Park. And this year it's gonna be Newsies. In the past, they've done Shrek, they've done The Littlest Mermaid, Wizard of Oz. It's always something very family friendly. And yes, it's hot, but the cool thing is literally adjacent to the Hillside Theater is Barton Springs, and you can just go over there and cool down right before the show, pack a picnic, and you're good to go. So if you enjoyed this video, please subscribe and like, and remember, my name is Edie, and Edie Knows Austin. So I hope the video has provided you the information that you need to make your own decision about whether you can afford to live in Austin, Texas. And if you have further questions, feel free to reach out to me by text, phone, or email. And remember, it is my passion to help people buy, sell, and invest in real estate in Austin, Texas.